Hi everyone and welcome to Moonstone Makes. My name is Tommi. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as DynamiteTrujillo. Welcome to episode 125. Thank you for being here. It is a very cloudy and rainy and pretty cold Monday morning here on the Northern California coast where I'm coming to you from. There are show notes for this episode in the description box below. I will link to everything I talk about, so if you're interested in checking anything out, check there. And if you're new here, welcome. I really appreciate you checking out my YouTube channel. If you're a returning viewer, a big welcome back. Thanks for being here, everybody. We have some make-along winners to talk about. We have been running the Moonstone Makes Halloween make-along over on Instagram for the past month and a half or two or something like that. And it was so great. Thank you to everybody for participating. It was so much fun to see what you were making for Halloween. And it is over now, sadly. How was your Halloween? How was your Dia de los Muertos? Mine was okay. We all got kind of sick. The whole house is getting over a cold. So, yeah, that kind of put a little bit of a damper on it. Normally, we do celebrate Dia de los Muertos here in my house, and I typically make pan de muertos on that day, but I didn't this year because I just wasn't feeling up to it, which was a bummer because it's the one day a year I make pan de muertos, which is really, really good. It's Mexican sweetbread. And it's shaped like, it's decorated with Dia de los Muertos things, like bones and skulls and stuff like that. But I didn't do it this year. But we did all still dress up. Lucy was a shark, River was a bunny, and Squirrel was an ancient cat. And I wore cat ears. It was great. Anyway, thank you for making all the Halloween things with me. I have a couple winners to announce. We had a couple prize donations. The first was this lovely and crinkly, sorry for the crinkly, bag by Katie Did Knits. It's got pumpkins all over it. And I'm just going to announce them now. The winner of this bag, pulled from over on Instagram, was Kato Yarn Company. And she knit a lovely Arachna sweater, which is a sweater that I love. It's by Andy Satterlin. I tried to make one. If you've been around for a while, you might remember mine. I tried to make an Arachna sweater a couple of years ago, and it did not work. Did not work. But hers was absolutely beautiful. If I remember correctly, she made it into a cardigan. Is that right? Am I just making that up? I don't know. But congratulations. I will message you on Instagram so that you know that you won. And I will send this lovely Katie Did Knits bag to you. Katie Did Bags is also giving us a coupon code. So if you're interested in checking out her bags on Etsy, I'll link below. And you can use the code TOMMI10 for 10% off in her shop all the way until the end of the year. So thank you, Katie, for that. And the next prize was donated to us by Hey Country Creations, and she is a stitch marker maker. She does beaded stitch markers that are beautiful, and she is this year doing grab bags for the holidays. So if you want to know more about them, you can check out her shop. I have to go let Squirrel out. She's scratching at the door. Okay, I swear if that cat wakes the baby up, I'm gonna be so mad. Anyway, she is doing grab bags for her stitch markers for the holidays, and she has donated 2 to the podcast, 1 for me, thank you so much, and 1 to give away. So I thought it'd be a great giveaway prize for the Halloween make-along. So I don't have any to show you. Mine hasn't come yet, and she is going to send the winners theirs from her. But the winner of a grab bag of stitch markers from Hey Country Creations, which by the way also gave me a coupon code for you guys to use, thank you so much, and that is Moon10 for 10% off in her shop. And the winner of the stitch marker set is A Stitch a Time, who is Carolyn, who made a few things for this make-along, and the post that won was a really beautiful crocheted, she called it a collar/shawl, and it was like this really kind of beautiful neutral color thing that just kind of went like this, and it was very Halloween looking and very beautiful. I loved it. And she naturally dyed the yarn and everything. It was beautiful. Both of you made absolutely beautiful things for this make along. Thank you so much for participating. Congratulations. I'll message you both on Instagram so that you know that you won. And thanks again to everybody for making along with me. I love hosting make-alongs and giving away things because it's fun. Let's talk a teeny bit about what I'm wearing. If you've been around for a little while, you've seen this sweater probably like a billion times. I wear it a lot. It's like my favorite sweater. It has its flaws, but I love it. I just love almost everything about it. It is the Evenflo cardigan by Joji Locatelli. It's like my perfect shape of cardigan. I absolutely love it. And it's an open fronted shawl collar. The shawl collar rolls back on itself like that. It's got set-in sleeves, and it's a long, ends up being kind of like an A-line shaped cardigan. It comes down right past my butt, which is the perfect length for me. I love the set-in sleeves. I love the collar and the way it sits on my shoulders and the way it fits. It's just everything. The one thing I don't love about it is the yarn. I love the yarn. The yarn itself it feels absolutely wonderful. It's wonderful. It's a sport weight yarn by, it's Socks That Rock medium weight. What is that company? I forget the company. Anyway, it's Socks That Rock medium weight in the bittersweet colorway. But for one, the dye lots were pretty off. So there's a good example. And I did not alternate skeins. It doesn't bother me that much, but I do feel like I look a little janky when I wear this sweater. Like, anyway. And the only other thing that bugs me about this sweater is that it still bleeds. I made this sweater years ago, and every time I wash it, it's still just like hemorrhages color. It's just, I even tried for the first time. I don't typically wash my knitwear in the washing machine, my sweaters. Even if it's superwash yarn, I will hand wash it. And I always wash this one separately because I know it's gonna bleed. And it bleeds this really like yucky, dingy, brownish reddish color. It's really gross. But for some reason, I'm just like, I'm out of it, you guys. My brain just kind of doesn't function the way it should anymore. And one day I was just like, I'm gonna try throwing this in the washing machine because it's my lifestyle now. And it's superwash. It's probably gonna be fine. So I threw it in the washing machine and it dyed everything pink because I forgot that it bleeds. So all the white, and I don't separate colors. I saw this like meme or something recently that I thought was really funny. Something about how everybody talks about the generational gap and how it's real because they don't know anyone under 40 that separates laundry into lights and darks. Which is just funny to me because that's always been like, I don't do that. My mom did it and she taught me to do it, but I don't know if it's like my teenage rebellion. Like, no, Mom, I never do it. I never have done it. I do one big load of laundry. Anyway, it dyed all of my light colored stuff pink, including Lucy's very favorite stuffed animal. I just about had a heart attack. This was a few weeks ago. I just ended up washing everything again without this in it and it was fine. Still. Anyway, that's what I'm wearing. I love it. It's great. I want to knit another one. I've wanted to knit another one for a long time in some different yarn, but also without the patterning because the patterning was a pain to knit. So there's the patterning. It's lovely, but that patterning made me put this sweater down for a long time because I don't really want to do it anymore. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe one day I'll make another one and do a different pattern. I'd love to do just plain stockinette, but I'd have to like swatch and see how the gauge is different, you know? I don't know. We'll see. Okay, should we talk about some real stuff? I have some works in progress, a finished object, and some spinning. First, I'm going to talk about my finished object because finished objects are first. I made I always forget the name of this pattern. I cannot get it in my head. It's the Moss and Deer Horns pattern by Sylvia McFadden. It is a hat from Pom Pom Quarterly, and this is it. So it's written to be for Aran weight, but I used some handspun, which I think is a little denser than Aran weight. It's kind of like an Aran, but it's like a dense Aran. I don't know why it's dense either. It's probably not really dense. I'm probably using my words wrong. But it's woolen spun. So it's some handspun that I spun up out of some fiber that I got from Mendocino Wool and Fiber Company, which is a kind of semi-local mill to me. I picked this up at the very last local fiber festival I went to pre-pandemic, and it's the Natural Fiber Fair in Arcata, California. It's a very small basketball court-sized fiber fair that used to happen in person here. And that's where I picked up this fiber. I bought 3 ounces of it, and I spun it up in a woolen spun mena, which means I long drawed it. And I got like 2 skeins. So this is the one I haven't broken into yet. And like I said, I counted it as an Aran weight, but it's so like, I don't know, maybe it's because it's so big and fluffy. It like knits up, I feel like, better at between an Aran and a bulky gauge. So that's what I did with this hat. The hat calls for whatever needle size it calls for an Aran gauge. And I probably cast on this hat 5 times trying to get the gauge right. And I ended up going up 1 needle size from the pattern, whatever that is. It was I used an 8. What is this? Is this an 8? Yeah, I used an 8, my Leica interchangeable needles. The pattern probably calls for 7, I can't remember, but I went up a needle size. So I feel like it fits really nicely. The pattern's written for 2 sizes, and it's supposed to be really fitted with negative ease, but I kind of wanted a little bit like more of a slouchy hat than like a super fitted beanie, which is what it's made to be. So I used the small stitch count on the larger needles, and I feel like it got me what I wanted. And it's really nice. It's just 1x1 ribbing, and it's got this patterning up just one panel of the thing. Otherwise it's stockinette. And it's beautiful and soft, and the yarn is absolutely lovely. And I kind of think it looks good with the lace panel like over on the side. And yeah, so that's it. This is the Deer and Moss and Deer Horns hat by Sylvia McFadden, who is Soft Sweater Knits. And this was a pom-pom pattern. It was in Pom Pom Quarterly. The issue was spring 2014. And I already had that issue, so that was nice. I don't have it in paper, I have it digitally. And so yeah, I like it a lot. I'm considering knitting matching mitts to go with them since I have so much leftover yarn, but I'm not sure yet. But this is a prize that I made for you. So I am over on Patreon and on Ko-Fi, and anybody who is a patron or contributes on Ko-Fi or becomes a member of the channel, which you can do right down there, gets entered into a quarterly drawing, and I usually make something for it. Sometimes I gave away yarn, but most of the time I'm making something for it. And so for this winter 2021 quarter, I am giving away this hat that I made out of handspun. And like I said, there might be mitts. I don't know. If there's not mitts, then there will also be the skein yarn. So maybe you can make your own mitts or something else. Totally. I don't know. But, oh, also this is Corriedale and Romney fiber. And it's non-superwash, it's woolen spun, and it's fluffy and wonderful. It's very nice and soft. I like it quite a bit. So this was a great pattern. It is a little bit different than like the pattern sample, because like I said, it's supposed to be kind of more of a beanie negative ease, and it has like a little point at the top kind of thing. But I think I prefer slouchier hats. So that's what I made for you. Also, I don't know what size your head is, so I wanted to make it a little bigger just in case. Yeah, so that is my hat. It's the prize. If you're interested in winning it, check out those things. They are linked below. Thank you for listening. And this was great. It was pretty quick to knit up, and I very much enjoyed it. Okay, so that is my hat that I knit, and I really love it. It was super fun to knit. It was really nice and quick, and it's just always so wonderful working with handspun. I love it so much. I freaking love it. I love working with handspun. It's so great. So that is that. Now on to, I was going to say now on to works in progress, but my baby just woke up. So never mind. I'm going to have to go do that now, and I will just finish recording this later. So I will see you soon, and you will find out what is in this lovely project bag. Okay, we're back. I have a co-host again today, right over there. So we're going to see how this goes. I was just about to talk about my works in progress, and I do have a couple, including a new cast on, and it is living in my pretty brand new This Handmade Life bag. And this is a patchwork bag that I got a little while ago. You may have seen it in my last episode. It's beautiful. I love it. And it kind of a teeny bit matches my project, which is pretty cool. So I am working on a new pair of socks. And this is what I have so far. So this is a pair of socks that I am knitting out of some new yarn that I bought like a week or two ago. My local yarn shop called Yarn in Eureka, California, moved. So they moved maybe like a block over from their old location, and it's really nice. So I took River one day and we went to visit, and I picked up this skeiny yarn, and here it is. This is Feederbrook Farm in the Entropy DK base. And it's 100% blue face luster. The colorway is oxidation, and it's a DK weight. So it's one of these yarns that is dyed in the wool and then spun as a marled yarn to, here's my hair, to pretty much look like handspun. And yeah, I thought it would make a great pair of socks. It is not sock yarn. It's a 2-ply that isn't even particularly like tightly spun or anything. And it's 100% BFL, but that doesn't bother me. I kind of like socks out of non-sock yarn. Yeah, they can fall apart sometimes over time, but I'm just kind of okay with that. And I don't really make my socks to last forever because I like making them anyway. So they do last for quite a while though. I've only had, out of all the socks I've ever knit, which is a lot over the past however many years I've been knitting socks, I've only had 2 that have actually developed holes. But I'm also not that hard wearing on my socks. I am on maternity leave right now, so I stay home a lot. So that means I'm wearing, especially now that it's fall, I'm wearing hand knit socks every single day, but I'm not really wearing them in shoes, and I'm wearing them inside my house. So knitting socks out of something like this is something that's totally fine for me, and if one day it develops a hole, I'm okay with that because I will knit more socks. I don't know. It just, yarn like this feels really good as socks to me. Like, not, I love sock yarn socks, but I really also love non-sock yarn socks. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I am using my ChiaoGoo interchangeables. This is a US size 3 because this is DK weight yarn. So I cast on using a German twisted cast on. I cast on initially with 54 stitches, planning to decrease down to 48 because I'm really into pretty long socks right now, like socks that aren't quite like knee length, but that also go like halfway up my calf about. And so what I like doing is casting on to like for the next size up that I normally wear. and then decreasing down to my normal stitch count. So for a DK weight, I would normally do 48 stitches, but I decided to cast on 54 for the top, and then knit all of this much. I pretty much knit it about like that deep. I got past the ribbing and just a few rows into the stockinette and realized I thought it was just like a teeny bit too big, so I ripped it out and recast on with 52 stitches, and so that's what I'm doing, a 52 stitch sock, and then probably about here-ish I'm gonna start decreasing down to 48 stitches. And how I'll do that is I'll just do a decrease on each side every maybe inch, like 2 times, 52, 48, yeah, twice. So that is what I'm doing, and I really like it. It's really pretty yarn. I really love the colors in here. I actually do have some hand spun that is really similar to this in my stash that I have been thinking about casting on a pair of socks with, so oh well. I bought this instead, and I'm pretty excited about it. And I feel like 100% BFL is going to be really nice for socks. It's just, yeah, my favorite sock right now is the really long ones that come up like a little farther than halfway up my calf, that start big and get smaller, and that are out of like a slightly thicker weight yarn that is like 100% wool or something, or especially hand spun. Hand spun socks are my favorites. They're just like totally my favorites. So it's just going to be a plain vanilla sock. I'm going to do stockinette. I'm probably going to do a heel flap and gusset, and that's the plan. I'm pretty stoked. I really have been wanting to cast on a pair of socks lately because I haven't had one on my needles for a little while. That's not true. I just finished my Halloween socks. But, yeah. And look, it looks really good in my bag. I feel like it matches really nicely with the oranges and like the, what is that color? It's like a tealy, seafoamy blue, green, pinks stuff. So that's my first work in progress. I don't know what that was. What was that, River? What was that? My next work in progress is something that I've been working on for a little while, but I have transferred it to a different project bag, which is another acquisition. I have a couple acquisitions this episode, and they're all just kind of scattered in. So that yarn was new, and this project bag is brand new. Look at this! It's epic. I think this is now the single most epic project bag I own. So this is a Woodsy and Wild project bags. Y'all know I really love her project bags, like a whole lot. And she had a pre-order. It was like a Halloween pre-order or something. And I pre-ordered this beautiful bag. It's black fabric and it's got gold moons on it. And it's like perfect. So yeah, I got this bag. I'm in love with it. And inside is my Daily Ritual Raglan. This is a pattern by Park Williams, and I am knitting it using some Moonstone Dyeworks yarn, which is my hand-dyed yarn, in the Artemis colorway. And this is Artemis on Yak Sock, which is a Yak Merino nylon blend. And this is it on Surrey Alpaca Silk, which is a lace weight. So fingering and lace weight held together. And this is what it looks like. I am almost done. Right? I'm like really almost done. So it's a, let me go back here a little bit. It's a top-down raglan. And it's a turtleneck. I got the turtleneck done. I got the body done. I got the first sleeve done. And now I'm working on the second sleeve. So, yeah, this has been pretty fun to work on. I'm a little hesitant. I've tried it on. I haven't blocked it, but I've tried it on. And I don't know about the fit, you guys. You might know that I am experimenting with the fit of pullovers, because I knit a lot of cardigans and I know what I like when it comes to cardigans, Pullovers though, I seem to keep failing on knitting something that I like the fit of and the look of. So I don't know about this one. I'm knitting the second size. I'm a 32-inch bust, and the pattern calls for 10 inches of positive ease, which would put me at the second size, and that's a 42-inch bust. I was a little skeptical of that because I would typically, like just looking at the measurements, I would just typically knit the smallest size, which I don't know what the bust size of that was, but I think I should have knit that size because this is really, it's just, I knit it to pattern, like as far as the length and everything goes, and it's just, it just looks too big on me. But like I said, I haven't blocked it yet. So it's pretty cropped, and on me it's pretty cropped, and well, it's not pretty cropped, it comes down to like my waist, but it's just really wide on me, and it doesn't like, I feel like other people can pull off these like really positive ease cropped sweaters and it looks like super cute, and on me it just makes me look like a little kid wearing a sweater that's too big. But I don't know, we're gonna block it after I'm done with it and try it on again and try it on with like the proper clothing, because I feel like the look I want to be going for is like with jeans, and I haven't tried it on with jeans yet. So we'll see. We're gonna see how it goes. But I'm almost done with it. Hi. I did swatch on the recommended needle size and got gauge, even like a tiny bit of a smaller gauge. So it should be coming out like a teeny bit smaller than the schematic, but I don't know. I also haven't measured it yet. But yeah, so I'm knitting it on the recommended needle size, which is a 7. And for the sleeves, I'm using my Chiaogu mini cord ones so that I'm just knitting in the round for the sleeve. And that's been really nice. So, like I said, it's the fingering weight yak and the Surrey alpaca lace weight held together. And I'm really digging the fabric. I think it's going to be really nice to wear. So I just have to hope that I like the fit of it enough to actually wear it. But I'm excited to almost be done with it. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. That is it for my knitting. I have some spinning now. Okay, hi. I'm a little figuring things out here. So, spinning. I finished this fiber that had been on my wheel for a very long time. This is some Cloudlover Fiber, and it is 75% organic Polworth, 25% silk in the Spice Cake colorway. It was the December 2014 Fiber Club. I don't think Cloudlover is dyeing or selling anymore. I cannot find her business online, so I'm pretty sure she's not doing it. But this was very lovely. I love the colors. It turned out very, very fluffy and soft. And I got, apparently I didn't write down what I got, but I think it's fingering weight. I forgot what I got. And I don't know what I'm gonna make with it. I was considering making like a sock head hat or something comparable, just like a stockinette hat, like slouchy hat with ribbing at the bottom. Also, I think the Musselburgh hat could be really nice with it. Chevis from Chevy Real Stuff has knit a couple of those, and I really, really like them. That's a pattern by Isolde Teague. So I don't know, we'll see what it becomes. Hopefully it doesn't linger in my stash for too long. I really like using hand spun as I make it. Let's get this bit up off my sweater. So that was the first thing. It's a 2-ply, and I spun it semi-worsted, you know, short drafts, long drafts here and there. And I spun it on my Ladybug spinning wheel, my Shocked Ladybug. And it was on my wheel for a pretty dang long time. This is my Halloween spin, which I'm really excited about. This is Inglenook Fibers. It's called the Glittering Caves. That's the colorway. It was 2 ounces, And it's 45% merino, 25% black Shetland, 15% sari silk, 10% tussa silk, and 5% stellina. Here's the card. This is the picture it was inspired by. It's a Tolkien. It's from their Tolkien collection, their Middle Earth Blend series. So this was really nice to spin. I let myself spin just like kind of whatever it wanted to be, and it turned out to be pretty thick. I also didn't write down what I got here. No, I wrote these down somewhere. I think I wrote them down in my planner. Oh well, whatever. So there it is. It's blacks and purples with these orange like Tweety bits, and it's really nice. So this is really nice and soft. It does have quite a lot of stellina in it. It's 5%, but spinning it, it felt like a lot. I think it was a little teeny bit too much for me, but it's really beautiful. And I actually also was kind of thinking about doing a hat out of this. I thought it could be a really cool Halloween hat. Halloween's over now, but that's okay. Also, socks could be cool. But it's only 50 grams, so they couldn't be like the super high ones I like, unless I had contrasting stuff, which I'm sure I could figure out. But I don't know. We'll see. But this was really, really fun to spin. I really liked it. And I kind of did everything the same on this. I kind of do all my spinning the same. On my ladybug. It's just thicker. I think the other one's like a fingering sport, and this one's probably worsted. DK worsted? That's my guess. Sorry about that. Okay. So that is everything I've been making in the past, like, month since I last recorded. I keep trying to record an episode, but it just keeps not working out. But it's been really great. I've been enjoying my projects a lot. And I did purchase a couple things, a couple of which you've already seen, my project bag and my yarn, which I've already started using. I also purchased a new magazine, which is the first issue of Radicle Threads. And this is a really great magazine. It's got crochet and knitting in it, plus other things. It's got like dyeing, like an article on dyeing, book reviews, recipes. There's tamales in here. It is a magazine that features Black, brown, indigenous, and melanated people. It's really, really awesome. There's a pattern in here that I particularly liked by Dawn Henderson, and it's this. It's the green thumb, brown thumb cardigan. And that is it. And I love it. So I'm considering casting on that. I also really like the cover tee, which is crochet. And you might know that I really love the idea of crocheting tops. I've done it once before, and I really want to do it again. It's kind of an obsession of mine these past few months, trying to find my next like crochet garment pattern. So that's a really nice one. Check this magazine out if you're interested. I think they did kind of a limited run of it, but I got mine at a stalker or a retailer or whatever you call it. I got mine through Nitty City. So I'm sure you can find it even if they're sold out on their website, but it's Radicle Threads, and I love it. I can't wait to start making from it. There's, like I said, there's also recipes and things other than knitting and crochet. Mackenzie Mullen, who is M to the Third, she's got a YouTube channel. She's got a recipe in here for a bundigo soup, which is awesome. I love a bundigo soup. So I might give that a shot. And that is it. That is everything I've got for this episode. Thank you for joining me for another slightly chaotic one. I hope you're all finding time to craft or do whatever it is you enjoy doing. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your time so much. I love hanging out with you and sharing what I'm working on. If you would like to share what you're working on with me and River, please do so in the comments below. I would love that. If you enjoyed the episode, please do feel free to like and subscribe. If you are interested in supporting me and the channel and getting entered into a drawing to win this here hat, check out the links below for my Patreon, Ko-Fi, or the memberships through YouTube. If you are a patron or contribute in any of those ways, I appreciate it so much. Thank you. I hope you're all having a wonderful fall and doing all the cozy things. Okay. I will talk to you next time. Love y'all. Bye. Boom, ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. Da-do, 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 da-do. Hi. Who's that? Peekaboo. 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 Okay.